So as much as I like to rag on the Corolla name, this is a pretty important car for Toyota. The company claims that in its 50-year history, they've sold over 43 million Corollas globally. I mean, that is a crap ton of cars. So this week, Toyota flew me out to Ojai, California to drive the latest version, the refreshed 2017 Corolla. And this particular one that I'm showing you is a rather unique model. It's the SE model with a 6-speed manual transmission, a unicorn in the Corolla lineup for sure. Let's take a look and see if it's still any good if you guys are shopping for a compact car. Now, it's a well-known fact that the compact segment, the C segment, is one of the hottest vehicle categories for a manufacturer to play in, and you have a lot of well-known heavy hitters. The Corolla is definitely one of them. This is one of the sales leaders in the segment. Toyota consistently sells over 350,000 units annually. It's always pretty much exchanging first place with the Honda Civic, which is also a well-known player in this segment. Now, when Toyota introduced the 11th generation Corolla back in 2014, it introduced a lot of premium features into this segment. The first being LED headlights. Those were standard equipment on every Corolla. Even the basic model had that upscale feature as standard equipment. So after 3 years on the market, Toyota is giving this car a pretty thorough refresh in light of all new players such as the Honda Civic, the Mazda 3, the Chevrolet Cruze, the Hyundai Elantra. And you can see the design of the Corolla got a pretty bold remake for 2017. This particular one that I'm showing you is the SE model equipped with the 6-speed manual. It gets its own unique front fascia, and all Corollas now come standard with bi-LED headlights, even on the base L model, and then the XLE and up trims will get the multi-LED with a new LED daytime running light that kind of is separate from the headlight versus the previous generation. It's a really nice upscale touch, and it's great that Toyota gives that as standard equipment. A lot of its competitors force you to pay extra for the highest trim or get an expensive option package if you want that safety feature. Now, around the sides, the Corolla hasn't really changed much in its overall dimensions. It still sits right in the middle of the compact car segment in terms of size. The 17-inch wheels on the SE and new XSE trim certainly look good. There also is a 50th anniversary edition Corolla, which is based on the SE, that has its own unique set of wheels. Now out back, Corollas will now have their own unique set of taillights depending on the trim. The L, LE, LE Eco, and XLE will get kind of the standard looking Corolla head taillight that was from the previous model, while this SE, XSE, and 50th anniversary kind of has an LED reverse light and mostly red that replaces the amber illumination for the turn signals in the other Corolla trims. Now, you can see the Corolla certainly has its own unique look to it. I'm not entirely sure if it's the sportiest looking. I mean, I just think it kind of just looks like a sedan with a body kit. But I do appreciate the fact that Toyota has made their Toyota Safety Sense Plus system there with pedestrian detection as standard, TSSP, and that basically gives every Corolla model adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning with steering assist, and forward collision warning with pedestrian detection and automatic braking. That is unheard of for Toyota to give that as standard equipment across the board, and honestly, a lot of the people who buy a Corolla are really going to appreciate that safety feature. Under the hood, the Corolla hasn't changed at all. You still have the same 1.8 liter four-cylinder on the SE, XLE, XSE, and L trims. The LE Eco gets its own unique engine with Valvematic that has slightly more horsepower. But enough about the exterior. Let's take a look at the inside and see all the changes that Toyota has made for the 2017 model year. Now, my particular tester does come with Toyota's smart key access system with push-button start. Here's the traditional key from Toyota we all know. To lock the vehicle, all you have to do is keep the key inside your pocket, touch this little raised ridge here on the door handle. That locks the door for you. To unlock it, just touch the back of the door handle. and that unlocks the door for you. Now, looking at the interior of this refreshed Corolla, I have a pretty good first impression. I really like the aesthetics that come with the SE trim, the sportier trim, if you dare say, for a Corolla. The seats, they have thicker bolstering. I like the blue piping that you get, and you have some contrasting stitching. It's kind of like a synthetic leather that you get with a cloth insert. It's a pretty comfortable seat, actually, and you also get a leather-wrapped steering wheel and its own unique set of gauges. You can see there, this one has the 6-speed manual, a unicorn for sure. This is the first time I'm driving a stick in this generation Corolla. Now, stepping inside, it has a very easy step-in height, kind of what you expect in a compact car. This is a really easy car to live with. Now, shutting the door, it sounds all right. I've definitely heard more solid sounding doors when they close in some of its competitors. But again, push button start is included on my tester. All you have to do is put the clutch in, and I can't believe I'm saying that on a Corolla. Make sure it's in neutral, and then push the button here to start the engine. And the very familiar 1.8 liter 4-cylinder fires up to life. And we've known this engine for a while. Toyota actually carried over this motor from the previous generation, so I kind of think it's time for Toyota to give us something a little bit nicer, like a turbocharged engine. However, they claim this is for dependability, reliability. This is a proven motor, so that's why they're sticking to it. Now, looking at the rest of this interior, if you guys own the current Corolla before the refresh, you're going to notice a couple of new things in here. The vents here, they're now a circular vent as opposed to the other shape that was in the pre-refresh model. It looks better. The gauges, you have a new LCD screen here. It's a 4.2-inch screen. The L models will even come with a 3.5-inch screen. Toyota did that because you need to access it whenever you're adjusting the Toyota safety sense system with pedestrian detection. It's a really nice looking screen. Really good that Toyota gave that to you on even the base models. Now, looking at the rest of the interior materials in here, you have stitching on the dash, which is kind of like a faux stitching. It is soft touch. Feels really nice. Good quality. It is also soft touch right here on this part of the dash. I like the blue stitching from the seats that you get on the lower part here. It's also soft touch. Looking at the door panels here, this is actually hard touch plastic, but you do have some nice, color matching trim going with the blue theme. The chrome door handle is nice. You have a nice stitched armrest here where your elbows are going to rest. The window is automatic up down for only the driver's side. Kind of expect that this is a compact car. It's not a mid-sized car at all. Looking at the center console here, you can see here familiar dash layout. The latest version of Toyota's Entune system with a 7-inch display. The system itself works very well. It's a very fast touchscreen. The graphics are decent. My particular tester does not have the upgraded nav head unit or the upgraded premium sound, so this is basically what you get if you guys go for the lower trim. The SE with a manual does not offer those premium touches, unfortunately. Another thing that's annoyingly absent is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Toyota doesn't feel the need to give you that because they feel that their own system is good enough with the Entune system with their apps or whatnot. I kind of think they really need to eventually offer Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's really what younger buyers in my generation want. There is a new feature here called Scout GPS. If you guys want to use GPS, you have to download an app that's on your phone, and that will basically graph GPS onto this system here. So there is a way to get GPS, but if you guys want the actual built-in Toyota GPS, you have to go for an option package that's not available on the stick. Now, putting the vehicle into reverse, you have a nice backup camera that's standard on every Corolla. It doesn't have trajectory, but it has some distance markers, no parking sensors, of course. You do get also single zone automatic climate control. Some competitors offer dual zone, but it's nice that Toyota gives you that feature. The steering wheel, it's the same steering wheel basically. Lots of buttons on here for the adaptive cruise, for your steering wheel audio controls, to control the screen there. The bolstering is actually quite fat. It's thick, it feels good in your hands, and the stitching on the leather feels nice. There's also some more stitching here on the actual airbag cover, so it's a nice little detailed touch. The 6-speed, I want to talk about this really quick because it is an incredibly long throw transmission. One of the longest throws I've seen in a while. It's basically like a truck. You can see here it's quite a reach to do any gear changes. So this isn't exactly a sporty vehicle or satisfying vehicle to shift, but we'll go into the driving dynamics later on. Your stability control off switch button is there. Your aux port USB is there with a nice little storage area. The armrest here is leather stitched. It is a 2-tier storage level, which is nice. You have your cup holders there. The glove compartment is pretty huge in its size. It's damped, not lined with felt, but pretty decent storage in here. My tester has a sunroof, which is nice to have, but overall, the interior of the Corolla, while it's certainly not class leading, it's very pleasant, easy to use. I like the fact that there's still a volume and a tuning knob, and everything in here is not super complicated to use. Looking at the back seat of the refreshed Corolla, you can see the Corolla has a pretty large back seat. Toyota actually says that it's more legroom than some mid-sized competitors at about 41 cubic inches of space. I think it's a very inviting, accommodating back seat. Probably one of the reasons why a lot of people love the Corolla so much. But getting back here, you can see I have plenty of legroom, really good foot space, a nice flat floor there. So this is definitely one of the larger back seats in the class. Always good to have for sure. Shutting the door, the materials here are also hard touch plastic. I kind of expected that. You do have some stitching down there for the lower armrest. The Corolla only gives you one mat pocket, and you have some more cup holders that pop out right there. There's no rear seat vents, of course, and it's nice to see that Toyota has added a fold-down armrest. I believe an LE Eco that I tested a year ago did not have that. You do have some cup holders, and the seats themselves do fold down 60/40. Now, checking out the trunk of the Corolla, you can see it's a pretty large trunk. This is a very practical sedan. I believe it measures like around just under 14 cubic feet of space. You can see you do have some hinges that crush your cargo, so you do have to organize it well. You can see there the seats fold down 60/40, as I said. And then looking underneath the floor here, Toyota still gives you a temporary spare tire, so no fix-a-flat kit, thankfully, in this car. The hood of the latest Corolla, I am sad to report that there isn't really anything new. This is the same 1.8 liter 4-cylinder with port injection, double overhead cam with dual variable valve timing. We've seen this motor since the previous generation Corolla, the 09 Corolla when it first came out. It still makes 132 horsepower and 128 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy for this one with the 6-speed is rated at 27.35, so a little bit below a lot of its competitors. Now, if you guys decide to go with the CVT, which by the way, the old 4-speed automatic from the base L is gone, thankfully, so now all of them have a CVT with intelligence. This car can get up to 40 miles per gallon if you go for the LE Eco, which has 140 horsepower. I'm really disappointed that Toyota has not developed a new like turbocharged, smaller displacement engine, but this engine is proven for reliability, durability. The Corolla still weighs like around 2,700 pounds. It's front-wheel drive, of course. Let's get out on the road and see how it all works. So first, setting off in the refreshed Corolla, this is my actual first time driving this generation with a stick. And you know, when I first found out that this was a manual, I was very intrigued with it. You know, guys know me, I love manual transmissions. However, the Corolla's stick isn't exactly a sporty transmission to drive. As I said before, the throws are just ridiculously long. It feels like I'm driving a truck. Also, the clutch is super numb. It has this really long travel, and it's really hard to tell whenever the clutch is actually engaged. But I will admit that having a stick does wake the Corolla's performance up slightly. I mean, 0 to 60 times for this car with the CVT are like 9.5 seconds. With the manual, it feels probably like 8.5 seconds, so it feels maybe like a second quicker, which is nice. The overall feel of this car is definitely not sporty, though. If you're looking for a sporty compact car, you need to go for a Mazda 3 or a Honda Civic or a Ford Focus or a Volkswagen Golf. The Corolla just isn't there. I mean, it's got a semi-independent twist beam axle in the back, so it's less sophisticated than some of its competitors. The steering is just, you know, numb. It is relatively precise, but the car just doesn't really change directions. I can literally do this and it doesn't really do anything. So, you know, those of you who want a little more sport with your compact car, you're gonna definitely want something that's a little bit more sharp. And, you know, this car's throttle response is just super laggy. You know, I imagine Toyota did that for fuel economy. It has a good deal amount of rev hang as well. I just think that if you're going to go for a Corolla, you may as well just go for the CVT. This is a commuter car. This 6-speed, you know, tries to promise, you know, sportier performance, but it just doesn't really deliver. And also the engine, you can't really hear it. It doesn't make any kind of sounds, which again, it does sound better than the CVT versus it wailing all the time, but I've just driven cars that are a lot sportier. The SE promises to be sporty. It just doesn't really deliver on that. Now, what the Corolla does deliver on is being a good compact car. The visibility in here is excellent, good side mirrors, Lots of standard safety features, very low hood. You can pretty much see everything in this car. You can also see very well out of the back. The seats are very comfortable. They hold you in place. I would easily take this car on a long trip. And I'd be pretty comfortable. I would just be complaining about the lack of power all the time, but it's also relatively quiet in here as well. The isolation here is basically approached Camry levels, and you also get a lot of technology. One thing I'm not really entirely sure of is the looks of this of the Corolla, the refreshed one, especially on my SE. It just looks really weird with the new larger emblem in the center and the nose. It kind of makes this car look like it has a big nose, honestly. Combine that with an even larger gaping grille, it looks more Lexus spindle-like, and I just feel like Toyota wants to be aggressive, but it doesn't really look all that cohesive to me. I definitely think there are better looking compact cars on the market versus this one. Now, what that little beep you heard is the lane departure warning system. You turn it on from this little controller here, and it will basically beep every time you go outside the lane, and it'll also actively steer. I did feel it steering the car occasionally, which is weird. I didn't expect to have that on a vehicle like a Corolla. Now, one thing it also includes is adaptive cruise control. When you turn the cruise control on, it says radar ready. You set it, and this car, you can adjust the follow distance. It has adaptive cruise control with a stick, which is actually pretty cool. Before, a lot of manufacturers wouldn't offer a stick shift with adaptive cruise. It's cool to see Toyota offer that feature, and it works relatively well. One thing it can't really handle is downshifting, so if you have it in 6th gear and you're trying to pass somebody, this car is going to be downright slow. And if you do shift and go to 5th, for example, or 3rd, the cruise control actually, let me see if it stayed on. It did stay on, so Toyota does get around that by every time you shift gears, so you're trying to pass somebody, the cruise control will remain engaged to help you basically get by that person. So it's a pretty nice feature to have, and it's really, really awesome that Toyota has included it on every Corolla as standard equipment. So again, if you guys are looking for a comfortable commuter car, spacious interior, biggest backseat, big trunk, really great technology in here, although it is missing Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, the Corolla certainly delivers on that aspect. The Corolla doesn't have enough power to chirp second, but it is cool that I can do that little 1500 RPM clutch dump. I mean, it makes this car a little bit more tolerable. So as a sporty compact car, this car definitely doesn't deliver on that, but it's not bad for a Corolla, I have to say. And if you're not going to drive it aggressively, sportingly, this car is definitely a great commuter car. Quiet, spacious, big backseat, big trunk, not that expensive. I mean, what's not to like about a car like this? And it has a really big reputation for reliability and dependability. It's one of the reasons why Toyota sells over 350,000 of these every year. So that being said, the Corolla is definitely not perfect. It's definitely not my pick if I was going to go for a compact car. I would easily recommend a Civic Turbo or the Mazda 3 or even the Volkswagen Golf. Those are my 3 favorites. However, if you guys really like Toyota, you like, what this brand has offered you in the past, you're loyal to them, it's still a great car. I kind of wish the Toyota, upped the technology a little bit with the engine. It's just a very old engine. It's really sluggish and underpowered, especially compared to the turbocharged offerings or the larger engine offerings you get in the Corolla's competitors. But with all that said, my particular tester, being the SE with the manual transmission, is certainly a unicorn. Corollas start around $17,000, $18,000 for a base L with a manual transmission, and they can get up to around $27,000 for a fully loaded model, which is can get rather expensive. But in general, the cars in this price range have gotten pretty expensive. I don't have the Maroni for my particular tester. I want to say it's around $22,000, which is a good deal for a car like this. It has a lot of features, and again, for under $20,000, the Corolla is one of the few cars you can get with adaptive cruise control, automatic braking, lane departure warning, and lane keeping assist. So I mean, that's crazy that Toyota is offering this level of technology and safety and LED headlights at this price point. So you value guys out there, you're gonna find a lot to like with the current generation, this refreshed Corolla. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed my overview of this 2017 Toyota Corolla. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, make sure you follow me on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and as always guys, keep subscribed to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.